hardcore?
What's that?
You're not going to spin no hardcore.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
You're not going to spin
Welcome to my apartment. You're watching the show where I, Jeff Cannibal, interview some of your favorite wrestlers, all while they compete to win $5 whole. To do this, they'll have to eat 5 wings, increasing in heat, all while allowed only 1 beverage. But if they tap out to those 5 wings, they have to cut a promo on this guy, Felix, my 3-legged kitten. You're watching The Flaming Table. Alright, welcome back to another episode of The Flaming Table. I am joined today by Eric Corvis, Corvisphere. Do you have any other names that I'm forgetting?
Probably a bunch of them, but it's fine. I think those are
the two. Those are the special ones. Alright, so you've watched us already film a bunch of these. So why don't we just get right into it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, count it out.
We don't have to, but you look like you want to.
It's going to give me flashbacks.
Mm-hmm. Whatever that means.
Oh, Jesus.
So, I'm going to wait till you bite into it. You don't really wrestle as much as you used to. Rarely, I'd even say. Mm-hmm. Now you kind of do more, you do commentary for Jersey All Pro. Mm-hmm. You do commentary for UWA Elite. I know that you are very involved in the behind the scenes of UWA Elite even. And I know you do commentary for a few other things. What's it been like going from in-ring wrestler to behind the scenes to doing commentary? And is that something that you enjoy doing? Is that something you always kind of saw yourself doing?
Well, I think the first biggest difference is the fact that I don't wake up in agony every single day. So that's a positive. To go from wrestling 3 times a week for nearly 15 years to not wrestling at all. But still getting to be involved. Still getting, like, now I get paid to talk about wrestling instead of to just wrestle. But I'm not going to lie and say I don't miss it. But injuries just built up too much. I need to take a step back. But I enjoy ring announcing. I enjoy commentary. I enjoy doing behind-the-scenes stuff. And yeah, those things.
Is that something that you kind of always kind of wanted to do after you were done?
Honestly, it was Beyond Wrestling that even gave me the idea, because Beyond Wrestling lets the wrestlers do the commentary on the shows.
Right.
So everyone on the show would have to commentate at least one match. And by doing that, I started getting a lot better at it, to the point where the shows that I was on, Drew would always have me doing the main event with Sugar Dunkerton, because we both realized we were really good and we really liked commentary. Mm-hmm. So then, by doing that, it wasn't even like a transitionary period. By the time I was done wrestling, I was like, oh cool, I like commentary, I'm just going to do that instead.
Cool. You seem to handle that very well. You
All right.
You good?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, I even skipped this one. Boogie Rag Joe made us this hot sauce. It is Jamaican gold chili and golden raisins. He's crazy and does wild things with this stuff.
Golden raisins, huh?
Yes. Our second sauce is going to be Outer Limits, ghost pepper, and roasted garlic. They're located right here in New Jersey. I'm a huge fan of them. They have a lot of great sauces.
Now this is the one that watching other people things start to kick in a little bit.
I guess so. I think the third one's where it really starts kicking your ass. Oh, take a bite, and we'll get into this one.
Sure.
You, to me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, got me in the throat again. Mm-hmm. I know, little cat's coming to check us out.
I'll put the promo on you now, bro. You want a bite of this?
Don't give my cat a bite of hot sauce.
Oh, so you could do it to us, but not your cat?
Yeah.
I don't need to cut a promo on you if you eat this shit.
Down my throat. So you're a very creative person.
Thanks.
This isn't the heat, it's like stuck in my throat. Whether it's promos, matches, feel like you don't want any of that. Behind the scenes stuff, or even you brought Beyond being the forefront of Beyond, who were a big part of the early days of that. What are some of, like, God damn it, it's just caught in my throat. What are some of your influences when it comes to things like, not only behind the scenes, but promos and matches and things like that? What makes you the person that you are? You're one of the first people I also heard call, like, wrestling like an art form and talk about it that way. So what got you to this point?
I think the first person that really, like, installed in my head character and promo and story and stuff was Raven in ECW. He was the first person that really made professional wrestling come across as real to me. Like, everything that he said, even though I knew it was a work, I believed everything he was saying. And, like, little tidbit, Corvis means blackbird in Latin because Raven was my favorite wrestler and because The Crow was my favorite movie. That's why I even have that name. So he was the one that really put it in my head that there's more to wrestling than the physicality of it. The storytelling is what always really resonated with me. I'm snotting. But,
Here it goes.
it's wrestling to me. It's flavors of ice cream, man. There's people who like vanilla ice cream. There's people who like green tea ice cream. There's people who like Rocky Road ice cream. And there's no other form of entertainment for me specifically that gives that kind of variety. Like, you can literally turn on any type of wrestling and it'll resonate with somebody in some way if it's the right presentation. And dude, you could tell the same stories with professional wrestling that you told in 1940 that you can tell in 2017. It's not the physicality, it's the storytelling aspect. That's always what resonated with me.
Solid. Can we actually cut real quick? Because I have something stuck in my throat. All right, we didn't actually cut that one because I don't want him to do good. Or get an advantage on other people. You ready to do the third win? You're handling this pretty well, even though you got a little snot coming.
Mind over matter, man.
Mind over matter. Good way to look at it. Bullshit. Our third one. This one, I hope.
Yo, Farouk and Bradshaw are going to be so pissed
This
off.
whole episode's a disaster. APA door fell. Sid fell.
Sid's a skateboarder now?
In my mind, everybody is. Third one.
Uh-huh.
Repercussion. 7-pod primo face fucker. That is what it's called. I didn't make that up. This is where I think it actually, like, really starts to kick your ass.
All right.
And I'm glad that you're starting to react finally. Or else people would not watch this episode.
They already probably turned off once they saw us be.
No, they love it. They tuned in for you. So, from no reaction to that.
Hey, man, I finished both.
No, you did.
Like,
You killed it.
I'm just not just taking bites.
You ready?
Sure.
All right, let's get into this. So, early days of Jersey All-Pro. That is where you started, right? I'm not making it up.
You're right.
Welcome to the club of being in misery. Starting Jersey All-Pro. You were part of Hip Hop Overflow, which you didn't know I knew, I'm sure.
Oh, that's great, though.
And then eventually you became a member of the Garden State Gods with Mike Quest.
Yep.
Shout out Mike Quest, good dude.
Yep, it's all right.
Tell me what it was like starting this Hip Hop Overflow and working that into, or how did that end up stopping and becoming Garden State Gods and Jersey All-Pro?
Well, Hip Hop Overflow. I was just kind of floating around in indie wrestling limbo, where like I was doing cool stuff each show, but there wasn't really any substance. And Fat Frank had this idea of recreating like a Public Enemy, NC-17 style tag team of like rich white kids from the suburbs that really like the hip hop. They like that hip hop music.
That hip hop music.
That hip hop music. My partner, Rushy Rush Margera, and myself, Roach Daddy.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Roach Daddy Corvis Fear as
Wow.
the Hip Hop Overflow, H2O, if you will. I wore a visor that was upside down. I frosted my tips. And he wore a do-rag and all that shit. And it was fun, man. We got to wrestle the Carnage crew. We got to wrestle Best Around, Dixie and Azrael, guys like that. And then I broke my arm. I have 2 plates and 8 screws in there, and I actually took some time off of wrestling. When I came back, JP teamed me as the underling of Crowbar. It went a little darker. They wanted to make that a stable. They said, who would you want to team with? And Quest, being one of my best friends, brought him in, who had already trained at JP. The second we started tagging, Crowbar left
Of course.
And Quest myself, and Chris Idol and Ace were the Garden State Gods as a trio. So me and Quest took it over to JP and did the Garden State Gods thing there. And Ace got really mad at us for it. They thought we were stealing their intellectual property for it. I've never been back to Ace since we started doing Garden State Gods.
Wow.
Yep.
That's something I didn't know. Well, you don't really do that anymore, so I hope you get back there.
All right.
You're like, he is the perfect amount of reaction and answering questions. I'm very psyched on that.
Nope.
You gonna think? Okay.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
That's true.
How pissed would you be if I was just like, oh, I'm sorry, none of that recording.
I'll fucking punch you in your dick.
All right. Are you ready to go on to the next one, or how you feeling? You're still chewing the last one. I'll give you a little bit of time.
I don't think that was a good idea. Chewing that last one.
No, I could promise.
Nope. I tried to be a badass. It failed. Let's go.
It always fails. You're not the first person to try that, which I don't want to talk about because I
just don't want to
to
vomit. I want to get through the show.
Okay. Our fourth win that we're going to get into without vomiting. Torchbearer sauces. It's the Rapture 2.0. Another very hot one. I love this one though. Good call. Good call. You barely actually drank any milk. I'm proud of you.
My first sip.
There you go. I've already drank some water. Oh, God damn it. All right. You want to take a bite of this one?
How about I take another sip and drink of this?
Yeah, I don't blame you. Switch it around.
It's moving around now.
People always say, and I've had people hit me up after the show started, that I should tell people to drink milk and things like that. I feel like once you get to this point, it doesn't matter. You could drink whatever you want, no matter what. It's going to hurt. Are you feeling that right now? For all the people who tell me I should be giving a right milk?
It's getting progressively worse. I think drinking the milk made it worse.
All right, so you heard it here first. Don't listen to anything online that tells you to drink milk. Just keep putting more hotness on it as we got Finn Balor versus AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega.
I'm pointing at you.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you are ripping through the wings, I guess.
Oh, God. Not that one.
Not that one. I guess that was your roadblock.
It literally, what was it, the face fucker? Like my face is fucked.
Lives up to the name, thank God. But I'm glad to hear more about Hip Hop Overflow. I didn't know about that.
Oh, you're the only one. I'm glad I heard about that thing. That was terrible.
Well, now I want to go out and see, what was your name? Roach Daddy?
Roach Daddy, Corvis Fear, baby. I got some DVDs. I'll give it to you.
Perfect.
Worldwide.
Perfect. Fine. Are you ready?
I guess.
We'll get into the Rapture 2.0.
That's supposed to happen on September 23rd, apparently.
I feel like that's supposed to happen like every couple.
This will air way after the Rapture.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So if you're seeing this, you did it.
Or if you're seeing this, you weren't Christian enough. You just have all the sinners tuning in. No.
I feel like when you're putting a show on Facebook that has a product called Face Fucker, your fans are, I say fans like I have fans, like I'm some kind of important idiot. People who watch are not going to heaven. Sorry, guys. But,
Unsubscribe.
back to it. The Rapture. Ready? Now you can't touch anything. So I wanted to ask you this one. You got a lot of people in New Jersey started with wrestling, including myself. Plenty of others. You also had a big hand in the beginning days of CZW's Dojo Wars.
Yep.
I'm sure there's probably even more. You probably helped out with the Jersey All-Pro School, and I don't realize that. Is full-time trainer something that you kind of look to do? Is that something that you want to do? Especially now that you kind of moved away from wrestling and like the in-ring part of wrestling.
Yes.
Good answer. All right, next week.
I mean, trading has always been my dream. I have this way of just being able to resonate with somebody's like way of thinking and be able to teach them based on what they're good at and what they're not good at, highlighting what they're good at and covering up their flaw is something that was taught to me by guys like Magic, guys that train with positivity instead of just putting people down and making people feel bad when they don't do well. Oh boy. I mean, I own the ring at my home. That's how much I wanted to be able to train people without even charging them. Like, I think every now and again guys would throw me like $5 or $10, but I never wanted it to be like, oh, I can't be a wrestler because I couldn't afford it. Like, what the fuck would happen if like Shawn Michaels couldn't afford wrestling school? You know, we would never would have had that. And it sucks that there's so much untapped talent out there just because they can't afford, because wrestling school is really expensive. And then wrestling school's hammering it in your head, well, if you don't pay this amount of money, then you don't really love it. Oh, because I don't have a kid or a job or school or whatever. So I wanted to give guys an opportunity to really like see what they were capable of in there. And I would love to open up a wrestling school one day, but financially it's not necessarily the easiest venture. But I mean, that's always my end game. I feel like even when I've done ring announcing and commentating, and like when I'm done wrestling full time in the ring, I feel like every time like you're in a deathmatch tournament, like I get a small sense of pride. Like that's my boy, man. Like or Gio, like Leon St. Giovanni, or guys like Mike Dell,
who didn't want to come to this, by the way. I tried to get him on this taping, and come on, Gio.
But guys that got their start with me opening the doors for them a little bit in the beginning, but it's never holding their hand through the process. Then Dell went to like PWS and Wrestle Pro, and Gio went to Ring of Honor and Monster Factory, and you went to CCW, and like you guys continued it and turned. Like to me, that's my favorite part of wrestling. Do I have to eat this piece?
You don't have to.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, my mouth is actually the roof of my mouth is swollen.
My tongue gets that sometimes. I get it. Since you did, I want to actually follow up on something. This is, I don't know, maybe we're not allowed to talk about this.
Okay.
You tell me. Back in the days of training with you and giving you whatever we had, and this wasn't a planned question, I just thought of this. I often paid you more than you asked because at the time I had a job, and this was 9 years ago, I think. 7 years ago. I was stealing a lot of money from my job at the time. And we had a lot of conversations about how we were both very good at shoplifting. We both moved on from that. What was the coolest thing you ever shoplifted?
The coolest thing or the most impressive thing?
I know the impressive one. Tell that one.
All right, so I went to an A&P in Woodbridge, and I got away with this like 8 times. Wow. I would go into A&P, and I would fill up an entire shopping cart full of stuff. Like, legitimately do my grocery shopping. And then I would take a big 50-pound dog food bag, and I had my own paint stickers, and I put it on top of everything, and I put the paint sticker right on top, and then I just walked out the door with $150 to $200 worth of groceries like 8 times. Until the day I got caught. Until the day I got home, I had my car parked up on the sidewalk as I'm unloading because I don't have bags because it's all individual shit.
Right.
So a cop pulls up, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting a parking ticket. And he's like, so what you doing? I was like, I just got back from food shopping. And they're like, yeah, we know. Somebody had called in my license plate number, and they came to my house. And my way to get out of it, I didn't have to pay a fine. I didn't go to jail. I convinced them to let me reshop everything I stole in A&P and pay for it, and then they take it back and I go home. But I still work like $75 off of what I actually, of course. And then that was the last time I ever shoplifted, because I think that the fact that I got a mulligan off of that one.
We have similar.
I wasn't going to push it.
Stories.
What's yours?
People don't care. Still, I used to do very similar, but with the baskets. And then I had to run away once, and I don't do much running. That's a new technique. Are you with me? Do you want to do the last one?
Yeah, sure.
Also, still very impressive if we can zoom in on the amount of milk he's drank.
Mind over matter, bro.
That's nothing. Also, you seem to get very happy talking about shoplifting to the point where it seemed like this didn't bother you when Warren and I were saying.
Oh, no, it's still there, trust me.
All right.
I'm
last
distracting myself.
Ultra Death Sauce. It's Blair's Ultra Death Sauce with Jersey Fury.
What's Jersey Fury?
I don't know. I figured you probably had it when you were in the Garden State Gods, so that wasn't that good. Don't give me
that
credit.
wasn't funny at all.
All right, you ready?
I guess.
You don't have to do it. There's a little three-legged cat right over there that you could happily talk to.
Dude, if I get your $5, I might still cut a promo on Felix because I think I have a pretty good one.
I'm glad you thought about this in advance.
Dude, tell these people here how prepared I came today.
Milk. There's bread over there. There's a banana over there, which is new to me. Ice cubes.
Olive oil.
Olive oil.
And acid, all of it.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's not good.
Oh, you did? I didn't realize you've been already.
This one's not good.
All right. I want to bring this up. Remember the DOI message board?
Oh, remember that?
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know,
Show the Mick!
Wow.
Show the Mick!
For anybody who doesn't know, it was a message board from the Jersey tri-state area. Very scummy. Very shitty. A lot of rumors. One time, it got posted that you died. Everybody knows it was you who posted it, but you've never admitted it. So while you're dying on the hot sauce, I'm hoping it can act as like a truth serum, and you can finally tell us about the time that you posted about how you died on the message board. And if not, just tell me a story about when you died.
I'll tell the story. Oh, you might need to post it on the message board after this. Holy shit. Alright, so... me and my girlfriend at that time broke up. And, I went away for the weekend to my dad's house. Oh, boy. And I didn't bring my phone with me. I didn't bring my cell phone charger with me. I didn't bring anything with me. I just wanted to get away for the weekend. My dad can attest to this because he remembers that weekend. He doesn't have a computer, and I didn't have my phone with me. So unless I got some... Oh, a little.
You really are swelling up, aren't you?
Yeah. Unless I got somebody to do it for me, I didn't do it. I had no reason to have done it. But apparently, I got back. I charged my phone. I get it all situated. And it's like 20 missed phone calls of people like mad at me. Like Hedges called me like, if this is a fucking rib, I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of you. Like, he was so mad at me. Arcadia had gone to like calling up hospitals and shit.
Wow.
It was like legit. People were calling up fucking police stations and all nine. I show up at Dave Swan's house, the owner of UWA Elite, for a pay-per-view. And everybody's like, what the fuck? I honestly had no idea what was going on until then. And then it was explained to me that somebody, and the Mick ran the IP address. So he knew, like he even said to me, I know it wasn't your IP address because we have your IP address from when you post on the message board. And that somebody had sent in a report claiming that they were a paramedic and that they were responding to a car accident and that my body was found in the ditch, and said that he was an indie wrestling fan and he knew who I was and he sent it in to Mick. And then Mick got in touch with Arcadia being like, yo, is this true? Even like to the point where apparently there was an Ace at AWA at the time show and Danny DeMonto like wore a Corvis Fear shirt and like dedicated his match to me and shit. Fuck it.
Ballsy move.
But
so
yeah.
who did post it? Did you ever
Nobody
find out?
fucking knows. Like the Mick didn't recognize the IP address. Like Mick checked the IP address to every person who was signed up for the message board, and he said it didn't match up with anybody, unless it was just the Mick.
Did he do stuff like that?
Dude, he ripped people all the time.
Fair.
I'm not accusing him by any means. It's water under the bridge. It's funny when it's brought up now.
Well, I was hoping that you would tell me you did it. I was hoping to break the news that people haven't probably thought about in years.
Dude, people still bring this up. Whenever anybody makes a joke about me dying, they always bring up about how they think it was me that did it. I had no reason to have done it at the time. Like, it's whatever, man.
Fair enough. Well, fuck. I'm unprepared. $5 is over there. Here's an envelope with somebody else's name on it, though. I'm gonna give you $5 after this.
It's Jay George's envelope. But he didn't make it.
Well, now I have to put your episode after his. before we get out of here, do you have any plugs you want to give out? Where can people find you?
Well, we can't do dates because you said you don't know where this stuff is coming out. So, UWA Elite, I do full-time commentary. I do full-time commentary for Jersey All Pro Wrestling. Oh, boy. That last bit. Always please support Beyond Wrestling and Synergy Wrestling, who I do work with as well. And then the Dropkick Depression Project, which I'm not a part of, but I still think everybody should be going out there to support. And thank you for this shitty fucking shit.
Of course, you're welcome. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell everybody.
Match from Catterday, October 7th at Paul for It All, will go down in history as one of the greatest interspecies matches of all time. The Matt Mechanic Eric Corvis took on the handicap hero Felix, aka Cat Gowan. You took me to my limit. You defeated me with the mandible kitty claw. And I had to tap out because on that day, you may have been the pussy, but you sure as hell were the better man. That's for you. A sign of solidarity between opponents. Wait a second. You didn't take my treat? Oh, we're doing this again, Felix! Don't disrespect me in your own home. Where are you? I'm gonna rip off your other arm. Oh, Jesus. That took a turn.
Yeah, let's not actually rip his arm off. Let's just give him treats.
Poor cat.